This conference will now be recorded.
Alrighty, we're here with Survivor Season Two's Charlie. We are finally
Hi,
having an exit interview for him. How are you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing amazing. I'm just here, for the free food.
How have you felt since you've gotten voted out?
It's been crazy. I've got loads of support, which I didn't think I would have. It's been mainly me processing my elimination because obviously it was so sudden, and obviously I've never been blindsided that brutally before. But since the season's ended, I've kind of like accepted it. It is what it is. I've spoken to people that voted me out, and we're all chill and stuff. So there's no bitterness or anything. So it's been good.
That's good to hear. So, we're gonna go very far back talking about cast reveal. And so it might be a little bit of a rewind, but the first question is a very basic one. What was your first impression of the cast?
I came into the season knowing nobody. Well, I've heard of Kermit before because he owns a massive speed server. So I've known of him, but I came into season knowing no one. So I was like, I'm gonna have to hustle my way to get through this competition. When I got put in the tribe and I found this nationals, that was kind of good because I kind of got a mix of all the different flavors of the world. But apart from that, I didn't know what I was going to expect. I didn't know who was like what. I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of going with it.
Yeah, definitely. And your first tribe, how did you feel that you settle in? Who did you like? Who did you not like?
We was really tight. I felt like the first tribe we went to kind of broke us up, but if we didn't get tribe, I feel like we could have been a solid six through the whole game, minus the twist that we didn't know was coming out. We was all in VC every night playing Among Us. We all got along very well. It was a very mixed tribe. I feel like we all bring attributes to the tribe that kind of helped us thrive with each other. So I feel like we was one of the stronger tribes if it wasn't for popularity.
Yeah, you guys did do a lot of bonding. It was very fun to come in the voice chats and listen to all the accents too. It was very, very amazing.
I know all the Americans doing the VC, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on?
So that second tribal council though of the game with Kremet going, how did that go? Did you want Kremet to go? Was he your first choice? How did him leaving affect your game?
We had 4 days to integrate, and I kind of, because we were such an active tribe, I kind of integrated myself well. Obviously, there was pairs and duos that were tight in the tribe, but I was in a great spot in the sense that I was not a target and I had options. So I was kind of playing a Kim Spradling game where I was under the radar, but I was in control somewhat because I had the options there. So coming in, I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew Gilbert and Tibbs on the bottom, but I wanted to work with Karen and Jiv. But I found out Karen Tibbs was a type two, so I needed numbers. So I kind of had to go for someone else. So obviously I had to tell Tibbs that he was on the bottom, which kind of went back to Nate Gilbert, which I didn't realize he was integrated that well. So obviously that left by default. Kermit was the boot for that one.
And then just after Kremet's elimination, he rejoined the game and you all tribe swapped. How did that go? How did that feel seeing Kremet coming back?
I dropped to the floor like a sack of potatoes. I couldn't deal with it. Literally seeing him come through. And then he cheats me. I was like, right, free jury, let's go. And then obviously he DM'd me and he was so chill about it. So I was like, either he's the best actor ever or he's generally like has not got a bad bone in his body. So he wants to work with me. I think my biggest regret was kind of leaning back into our international group, me and Jiv, because that kind of put a target in the back because I'm very outspoken. So obviously everyone kind of realized we was a clique. And then we pulled on Derek and eight, and that I think that kind of sealed it for me because obviously they had people close to on their other tribe. And after the Jimmy vote, I feel like I was doomed. I was definitely tribe swap after that.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that swap tribe, though. You were definitely close with the other people from original Haas tribe, but how do you feel about everyone else? Who was your original target? Was and then Jimmy going, was he your target? How did that work?
So after all the alliance were kind of drawn, I kind of felt like there was some people weaker in our tribe. For example, A and Derek and Jacob were kind of the weaker three in my eyes. I feel like they was kind of going to be in the middle of the situation. But I definitely saw Jimmy, Lindsay, and Dave were definitely going to be issues later in the line. So I kind of just wanted to play a different strategy going in, just cut off the heads of the snakes, ready for merge. But obviously, Jacob, the most under the radar Danny Boatwright threat I've ever seen in my life, came out of nowhere and actually pulled together some people. And obviously, because I was the outspoken one from the other side, I kind of got the backlash and voted out for that.
Yeah, how did you feel about Jimmy going with the 20 sacrifices, though? Originally, it seemed that he was going to not tell everyone, but that didn't last for really long.
Yeah, I feel like he could tell me straight away. So I feel like, because originally I did tell him I wanted to work with him and Lindsay because I feel like we were strong. But then I didn't want to, because what I normally play in Survivor is I get the big threats together and go far. So I can get to the as far as I can with the big threats and just go under the radar and then watch them take each other out. That's not my normal strategy and it's won me quite a few orgs. But I just wanted to have a bit more fun this time. So going into it, I was like, I'm going to take the big threats, see where it goes. So obviously Jimmy was in my hit list anyway. So when he opened up and told me straight away, and he was like, "Oh yeah, me and Liz work together," I feel like I was a bit iffy with that, and I didn't want to go for that approach this time around. And obviously, didn't really pay off, and I don't think I'm going to go for that strategy again.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So let's talk a little bit more about the challenges now. How did you feel about those original challenges?
I suck at challenges either way. I can't read, so when you sent massive paragraphs explaining in detail, I read it as a giant wall of white. I was like, "Oh shit!" But then you was nice about it and BC explained to me. And obviously, some of the challenges like the dares, I wish I went past 6 because I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't realize it kept going. So I was like, oh my God, the dares are going to get worse because there was one about sacrificing my vote for tribal. I was like, they're going to get worse. So I kind of stopped. Obviously, when Jimmy told me about the rest of the dares, like dancing to rap, I could have annihilated that. I'm so disappointed I didn't do that. But yeah, the challenges were fun. They were very different. They weren't all apps, which I like because things of apps, I don't bother. I do it once and submit that score because I'm not a challenge beast at all. I can't do a challenge to save my life. So I kind of like the diversity of the challenges going to season. It actually gave me a bit of a chance. I could have done one something, at least once, if I lasted a bit longer.
Yeah, if hope we wish you would have lasted longer. That was so much fun. All of your video confessionals were just so funny. Um, we would have loved to have you longer, and we'd love to have you again too. But really, uh, that double elimination, what would you have done if you had won immunity?
Well, I have the option to because Jacob offered me the immunity to go to the island, and I never, ever, I've never have, never will play with advantages. I'm a very old school social player in that sense. So obviously, he came to me. I knew the North Pole was going to be an advantage track, and I didn't really want to waste my time. I kind of wanted to be in the game, so I know what was
Yeah.
going on. So obviously, offered to me, I turned it away because I didn't realize their strategy was getting from the nationals to take another one out. So obviously, I
Hmm.
feel like I should regret not taking that because I could have actually lasted a bit longer and made it to merge.
Hmm.
But obviously, I didn't realize what strategy and what was going on behind the scenes because everyone was kind of switching sides more towards the merge side of things at the end of pre-merge. So obviously, I didn't know what's going on. And when you gave that to Kermit, I knew something was up. Obviously, I was kind of in denial because I was in a goodish spot because obviously I had the
Yeah.
lucky 5 alliance and 8 reassured me like he was in the middle and he was confident working for me. So I didn't even expect a million years I was going to get blindsided to that tribal.
Yeah, that was a really tough tribal to watch, as everything in the pre-merge was really, really rough to watch unfold.
Mm.
Um, and did you have a plan to save yourself, or were you just completely blindsided and just didn't have any idea?
I mean, I had a backup plan with Dave if something did go wrong. Obviously, Dave wasn't really active because he was traveling a lot during that period of time during my elimination. So he was kind of a loose backup plan. Apart from that, I was completely out of it. I didn't realize Jacob was a player in the game, and if I did, I would have played a very different approach. I kind of
Yeah.
underestimated certain plays, which was my downfall, and I was completely blindsided. I was not expecting that to happen.
Yeah, that was tough. And then, of course, we have to talk about your final words, which are probably the best final words that anyone has ever uttered. What was your idea on that?
So Drag Race, the TV show, released a casting video, and there was a song for that. And I was like, I need to do something with this song because if I'm going home, which I did, I was like, I need to do something. So obviously, I just played the song, just walked in front of the camera, and just that was it. That was literally improv. I just did it on the spot. I was like, I need to do something iconic because obviously 16th place or pre-merge isn't very memorable because it has such a strong cast as well. I didn't want to kind of get outshadowed by other people. So I was like, I'm just gonna press record, I'm just gonna strut, see what happens, and that's literally how that creation came to be.
That was amazing. So the only other questions I have, we talked a little bit about the Andy and Kremet return. How do you think your game would have gone had you been eliminated first and been in Kremet or Andy's position? How would you have played it differently?
I feel like if I was voted out in nationals, it would have been a huge wake up call, and it would have made me realize more that I was not reading things right because this cast was very wishy washy in terms of how they was approaching things. So I didn't get reads as well as I thought I would. So if I got eliminated and come back, I would have probably been more under the radar and kind of looked at everything a bit differently. I think I wouldn't have stuck to internationals. I feel like I would have pushed towards being one of the bigger threats like I normally play if I was voted out. So I feel like I could have potentially made it to merge if I was voted out because that would have been a definitely like wake up call, like you need to change what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. So would you play in another one of Yale or my games?
I mean, if an invite gets stuck in my letterbox, I might not say no.
That's great to hear. But outside of that, I don't have any other questions for you. Do you want to share anything with us? Tell us anything at all?
I have moved to Fiji, so every time there's a new Ponderosa, I'm going to be there just saying hi. No, thank you so much for having me on this interview.
Alrighty, Charlie. Well, you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.